Hello there, John Hall from Right Here Pens, another video pen review. You might have noticed I'm using a new camera. The focus is very much better, but I'm struggling to get a setting on it that doesn't make me either look jaundiced or as if I've been drinking too much. So anyway, yeah, I'll rapidly get down to the table and show you the pen we're going to look at today. Right then, so what we've got obviously is a Pilot pen, but which one, we ask ourselves. Well, it's a rather smarter than usual box, and there are boxes within boxes, as is often the case with the very best pens, and I think this is one of them probably. So, Pilot limited edition, you see that much. Well, I must confess, I've cheated and opened this before. So I know that there's a nice bit of foam padding here. And even more importantly, God, this would have been embarrassing if I'd just opened it. Instructions on how to open the box. We see it's a Pilot Capless, and we have some information in here about it in a range of languages, so that's always going to be useful. And here's the pen, and let's have a quick look at that before we have a good look at it. And here we are. What's important about this is the finish, and as you'll see, I hope, has a very nice Guilloche finish. There we go. Right, so let's just pop that down a moment, because the other thing I want to show you is that when you pop this down, a little drawer here that shows you, firstly, there's a cartridge there, and secondly this. Now what this is a little cap to put over the cartridge when you're using a cartridge rather than the converter that's installed in the pen, and I guess this is to make sure that the mechanism works properly. So there we go, very helpful. So let's have a good look at the pen. Very attractive looking, and I've got to say, I mean, I quite like the Capless. I think they work absolutely brilliantly. I do think this looks absolutely superb. The black Guilloche is most attractive. There we go. Move it around so you can enjoy looking at it. But this is also an opportunity to look at just how good these Pilot Capless pens are. So, for those of you not familiar with them, it's just like an old retractable ballpoint, but actually, as you press that, the nib comes out. Press it again, the nib goes away again. And there we are. Great fun. Great fun. But it also works extremely well. And I think it's worth having a good look at how. Because as you... There we go, let's have a look. Can we get this? As you open the pen, you might notice, well, you probably noticed there, that there's a little flap closes, and that actually seals the nib and unit. So instead of having a screw-on cap, you've got a little flap that comes up and effectively stops too much air getting in, so the pen won't dry out. And they are very good starters, these Pilots. So here we go. And I think it's also an opportunity to have a look at the mechanism and to find out how they fill. Now it's actually very straightforward. This unscrews. Inside you've got really the business end of the pen. So you have here nib, feed and the converter in this case, because this is a cartridge converter pen. There we are. We put that back in. Oh, actually it's worth having a quick look at the converter. You'll see there's lots of little ball bearings in there, and they're agitators, and they improve, they make the ink flow. There's a concern that if those weren't there, then the meniscus of the forming on the ink might actually cause difficulties in making it flow. So this gets you over that problem. So anyway, yes, you take this out. It's a straightforward screw converter. Screw it down, screw it back up again. You've probably got a little bit of ink left on the nib, So what you do is just wipe that off and then pop it back in the pen. So you see there's a little slot here into which that goes. See, little receiving slot there, and that makes sure that the nib comes out at the right orientation, and then you simply just screw this back on again. Here we go. Now let's have another look at the nib. So let's get up a bit closer here. It is actually an 18 karat gold nib. It's only very small. You'll have noticed that when we looked in at the mechanism. This is actually a broad nib, and as I think you'll probably see, that's a decent broad nib. Japanese pens do tend to be a bit on the fine side, but that is actually a really nice, decent broad nib. And they come in broad, medium and fine. So there we go. Now this is a limited edition, so it's a bit more expensive. This one you'll usually pick up for around £200 or so. Normally they're about 140, something like that. A very nice looking pen, very nicely packaged, and I think as limited editions go, this is probably worth the extra money. It's certainly a very satisfying feel. I personally like the texture of Guilloche finish pens, and there's something fairly opulent about this. Really very nice indeed. So I usually like the pens I review because I do like pens, but this one I think is an exceptionally nice one. So this is the Pilot Capless Guilloche Black Limited Edition. A very nice pen. Thank you very much for listening.